Thank you very much for joining MTT's webinar today on mobile push strategies for airlines, taking mobile engagement and revenues to the next level with intelligent push notifications. So good afternoon to all of those joining from Europe and the Middle East, and good morning to those joining from the Americas. We are delighted to have you all on the webinar today. On today's agenda, we will firstly look at a quick overview of MTT, who Mobile Travel Technologies is, for those of you who are not that familiar with us. I will then go into an introduction to mobile push notifications and what the opportunity is for the airline industry. Then we will look at the airline industry today and how it is using mobile push notifications to enhance mobile engagement and mobile revenues. We look at examples from MTT's customers who are using our MTT Engage mobile push product, and also some other airlines and what they're doing with their push strategy. I will then go into some specific details on what MTT Engage is, how our intelligent push engine works, and how it enables comprehensive and personalized mobile push messaging. And then I will end with some best practice guidance on the precise art of mobile push notifications, some do's and don'ts of having a really successful mobile push strategy. And then finally, we'll have some Q&A time. So within the viewing console, there is a window through which you can submit questions via instant message. Those questions will come through to us. You can submit them at any point throughout the webinar, and then at the end of the webinar, I will post those questions and then answer them for you. So first of all, a quick overview of MTT. So we were founded in 2005. We're a privately held company invested in by a very large Silicon Valley Tier 1 venture capitalist, Draper Fisher Jerviston. MTT's focus is solely on technology for mobile travel to support the mobile channels of airlines, of online travel agents, of travel management companies, and hotels. And we work with many leading airlines and travel companies worldwide as their mobile partner. MTT first launched mobile bookings for airlines in 2006, and we have remained a first mover in this space ever since. And our team here at MTT is comprised of course, mobile developers and travel technology experts, but also many experienced people from retail, social media, product management, and very importantly, design and usability. In terms of who we work with, our clients include many leading airlines worldwide, such as EasyJet, and we will look at later in this webinar how EasyJet are using MTT's intelligent push product to promote new routes and better customer service and so on. We also work with Transavia.com of the Air France KLM group, Jetstar of the Qantas group. We will be very, very soon launching new mobile apps for the LATAM Airlines group, which is the merger between LAN Airlines in Chile and TAM Airlines in Brazil. And we very recently launched mobile apps for one of the world's largest travel management companies, BCD Travel. And we'll also look at how they are using intelligent push notifications with MTT's Engage product. So first of all, I want to take a quick look at the mobile opportunity and put some context around what we are discussing today. So it could be very nicely summed up initially by this quote from Henry Hartfeld, a very well-known airline industry analyst, in which he says, mobile will become airlines' most important digital channel by 2015. So the customer of the airline today is increasingly mobile-centric. They want to manage all aspects of their travel via mobile, and it could be well said that this point has already been reached. And it's a case of the airlines being able to better match and meet the requirements of their customers who want to do more and more of their travel management via mobile. So what is the opportunity on mobile for airlines? Well, it's certainly used differently from the regular web. It offers more touch point opportunities for airlines, and these different touch points are very much where intelligent push can come into play for better, more one-to-one communication by enabling those different touch point opportunities to capitalize on the ancillary opportunity or the customer loyalty opportunity utilizing push messaging. And mobile really is the only true enabler of deeper relationships between the traveller and the airline. And if we look specifically at the ancillary revenue opportunity and the role that intelligent push can play here. So currently ancillary revenue for airlines ranges greatly, anything from 34 cents to $56 per passenger across various different airlines worldwide. And the sources of those ancillaries can be anything from the frequent flyer program to the air ancillaries, commission-based products, and so on. But airlines are still missing a lot of the opportunity to sell more ancillaries, particularly via the mobile channel. And they're missing out on getting the right point of sale, selling based on customer data, and the positioning of the ancillary sale. So this statistic here, 25 to 50% of ancillary opportunities are post-booking. This is from research from Hudson Crossing from Henry Hartfeld. And there's a great opportunity for airlines to do more in the later stage of the travel life cycle. So not at the initial reservation stage, but post-booking and as the customer gets closer to their time of travel. So 24 hours, 48 hours before travel is a really key time to push relevant ancillaries to the customer to increase the likelihood and the chance that they will actually act on that and purchase the ancillary in question. And there's lots of things that airlines can learn from other industries, particularly retailers, and how they're using mobile push to really engage customers and to drive better revenues and increase mobile bookings. So if we look at the recent example from American retailers for Thanksgiving and Black Friday in 2013, they overall sent out 37% more push notifications than previously in order to promote their Thanksgiving Day offers and sales. And as a result, they had almost 22% of all online sales were attributable to mobile on Black Friday, and that represented a 43% increase on 2012. So that simple action of a very specific mobile push notification to promote a sale had a great impact in terms of mobile revenues and engagement. So as you see, while retailers are using push notifications to drive their sales, airlines are not doing this as effectively. And it's not that the retailers are doing anything innovative. They're doing very simple, targeted, well-timed push notifications to increase the likelihood and the uptake of offers and other promotions that they have. So again, looking at some research from Henry Hartfeld, between 2012 and 2013, there's just a 1% increase in ancillary revenue, and this is very much a missed opportunity for the airline industry. And more interestingly is this research from Flight View survey, which looked at what business travelers would be willing to pay for on the day of travel in terms of ancillaries. And here we see great insights into the different types of ancillaries that would be excellent to push via mobile, so in-flight Wi-Fi, seat with extra leg room, business or first class ticket upgrades, early boarding privileges. So these types of ancillaries could be very easily and very well promoted via mobile push notifications. And to summarize this, I think the quote here from the CEO of GuestLogic, Brett Proud, is really noteworthy. So Brett says, airlines have yet to figure out a really good ancillary strategy for mobile. Download any airline app and you will see very quickly that there is really no ancillary strategy that takes into account personalization or itinerary and puts customized offers in front of someone. And of course, mobile push is not just about increasing ancillary sales. It is also really, really key for improved customer service and for driving loyalty, better loyalty from frequent travelers and loyalty from customers that are one-off or occasional travelers. So push can be really leveraged to improve the passenger's experience at every stage in the journey, and we look at examples of this later in the webinar, and to alert passengers to timely information and updates on flight delays, gate changes, destination information, or any other relevant flight information that they should be aware of. So you could summarize the mobile push notification as a multiple opportunity, and specifically into these three types of opportunities. So push can initially be used to drive app downloads, so using SMS to encourage download of the airline app with customers that are currently flying with you. And also it can be used to trigger dormant users of the app. So customers who have downloaded the airline app previously, but who have used it only once or twice or not at all. So push can be really, really effective in terms of triggering that dormant app customer. It is very key, as I mentioned, for informing the customer, keeping them up to date with all their travel information while they're on the move, so that they have all of the information they need to know when they need to know it. And of course, engagement and monetization. So promoting relevant ancillaries at the right time within the travel life cycle and when the customer is most likely to make that decision to purchase. So I think this slide here just sums up all the different touch points that there exists an opportunity for to use mobile push notifications at all of the different stages of the travel life cycle, from inspiration all the way to the post-trip and everything in between. So how can airlines improve their mobile service to better avail of these opportunities? So again, let's take a look at this quote from Henry Hartfeld that very much summarizes what airlines can be doing with regards to mobile push. So airlines know who their customers are, they know intent, and they know actual behaviors and location. The passenger has shared this information with them, especially if they have downloaded the airline's app. There is an enormous opportunity to leverage through mobile more selling opportunities and to make those opportunities more relevant. So again, looking at the overall use of push notifications in retail, in consumer applications, these are some very interesting results from the Ipsos Observer survey of the U.S. Online adult population just at the end of last year. And their survey with marketeers in the use of mobile push have seen that 50% higher open rates are as a result of push notifications, better than email marketing, and they also have click-through rates that are up to twice as high as via email. So currently airlines obviously use a lot of email promotion, a lot of email marketing, but the response rates and the open rates will be a lot higher on mobile. So 70% are consumers found all types of push notifications to be valuable. So there is a good perception that this is useful information that the customer wants to receive and act on, or receive and be informed. And in general, app notifications are highly utilized. So 68% of all users enable push notifications for their apps. And the younger demographic, so 18 to 34, over 75% of them will enable push. And this is the customer of the future that airlines need to consider. So the other thing to bear in mind is the difference between Android and iOS behaviors. So for example, with iOS, push notifications need to be turned on. So it's automatically off on iOS, on Apple devices, so it needs to be turned on. So while this may seem like an obstacle, it also means that those users who do turn on the push notifications are very much more engaged, and they could be classified as more valuable customers. And it's also reported in this research from Forrester that users who receive notifications are also the heaviest users of apps. So it goes hand in hand to increase your app usage by leveraging a mobile push strategy. And again, to reinforce the benefit of mobile push, here we see in this research from Exact Target, which was quite recent in February of this year, only 8% of consumers wait before checking or ignoring a push notification. So there is a huge captive audience with push notifications. Customers are willing to open and check the app notification to find out what the information is, how interesting it is for them, and 65% will check the app notification, and that is a great figure. So now we'll take a look at how the airline industry is currently utilizing push notifications. So I'd like to start off with this quote here from Peter Duffy of EasyJet. He is the Commercial Director of Customer Product and Marketing. EasyJet recently launched their push notifications engine, leveraging MTT Engage, our product for mobile push for airlines. And at the launch, he said, the use of push notifications will transform the way that we communicate with our passenger. It's yet another way in which EasyJet is using technology to keep our passengers informed. We'll be providing them with targeted messages and helpful reminders at various steps of their EasyJet journey to make things even easier for them when they're on the move. And we'll take a closer look at the MTT Engage deployment with EasyJet very shortly. But first, looking at some other airlines and what they're doing with push. So JetBlue actively use push to update their customers on flight notifications, and they use it in conjunction with Twitter to provide updates on departures, arrivals, gate changes, delays, diversions. And here you can see an example of the type of push notifications that they're using, and also the type of communication that they have via Twitter to support that. Also with Turkish Airlines, they are currently trialing Bluetooth-based push notifications, again to inform passengers of gate changes, flight updates, and tailored retail offers nearby. So again, another example of an airline using push to keep their customers better informed. So EasyJet, one of our customers, they recently launched their push notification engine with MTT Engage. Their first push promotion was on a winter flight route release notification, and they used the push messaging and promoted this new route release in all of the 7 languages that their app supports. With the push notification, which you see here on the right-hand side, customers can access the app flight search page in one swipe from the push notification. And the results were pretty instantaneous from this promotion. So active app users increased within seconds. Customers wanted to get in first and to avail of the offer and the new route promotion as quickly as possible. There was a great increase in mobile sales. So this is one example of how EasyJet have used the intelligent push engine, but they're also using it for flight information, delay, updates, as well as promoting ancillary sales. So now we will take a look at the MTT Engage intelligent push engine. So it's a permission-based mobile messaging channel. And the purpose of it is to enable airlines to accelerate their mobile engagement and therefore mobile revenues. It enables the airlines to capitalize on those different touch points in the travel life cycle so that they can push relevant ancillaries and therefore increase ancillary revenue streams. And very importantly, the intelligence engine within the MTT Engage product ensures that customers are promoted relevant ancillaries at the right time in different stages in the travel life cycle. And it also enables airlines to keep their customers updated on the flight information, changes, delays, any disruption to the travel. So the MTT Engage product is driven by some key operational triggers. So they are location and a particular event or action and time. So in terms of location, it's where the user is, their device location. It leverages iBeacons, where the customer is in their travel life cycle journey. In terms of events or actions, it's things such as any changes to the flight, any delays, any cancellations, any updates on boarding or gate changes, anything that the customer needs to be aware of that's going to affect how they manage their travel at the time of check-in and boarding and so on. And the other key driver is time. So what are the times before departure that are really significant to push relevant information or offers to the customer? So 24 hours before a flight, 48 hours before a flight. The types of different things you would like to push could be extra baggage, upgrading seat offers, any particular pre-notifications around delays or changes to flights, and so on. So now I'd like to show a short video on the MTT Engage product and how it can work for airlines. So in these two examples, we see on the left-hand side the use of push notification to inform the customer that check-in is open, and on the right-hand side we see the use of push notification to inform of a flight delay. At MTT, we also work with Jetstar of the Qantas Group, and one of the key features within the Jetstar mobile channel that we provide is the Advanced Manage My Booking feature, And within this, customers can book in-flight services in advance, such as pre-booking a movie from Jetstar's video on-demand service, which is what you see highlighted in the blue circle here. And this is a great example of something that Intelligent Push could be used to promote even more, to increase the bookings of these in-flight services in advance, to increase the ancillary revenue from that. So now I'd like to play another quick video showing how MTT Engage can promote ancillary sales, and in this example we're looking at a flight upgrade offer being pushed via mobile. Okay, so that was a very simple example how Intelligent Push could be used to promote an upgrade offer, and it can also track previous customers with the airline if they've traveled business class before and if they're in economy for a particular journey, and therefore recognize that they would be likely to uptake this offer. And in the next example, which I'll play in just a moment, we look at how MTT Engage can enhance the travel experience with relevant information. So we'll have a look at that video now. So in this example, we saw how MTT Engage can better inform the customer when they're traveling about a gate change, where they can spend the time in between flights at a specific lounge, and then what time their next connecting flight is boarding at and at which gate. So as I mentioned, our MTT also works with BCD Travel as their mobile app provider. And they also leverage MTT Engage within their app, which is called TripSource. And they use MTT Engage to also instantly advise corporate travelers of any flight updates. They also alert travelers to flight status updates or cancellations or any delays. They promote the TripSource Rewards program, and they also promote any relevant offers that TripSource has for the corporate traveler in their destination city. So now we'll have a look at a video of TripSource in action and how the intelligent push from MTT Engage is leveraged throughout the TripSource experience.
Let's face it, your travelers are going mobile. 75% of them use a smartphone when they travel. And road warriors? 20% of them book travel on their mobile device. And many more use itinerary management apps. Why not use that to your advantage? BCD Travel's free mobile app, TripSource, lets you extend the influence of your program across your travelers, with an app they will not want to leave without. Your travelers can use TripSource to share itineraries, get driving directions, and stay up to date on flight delays and gate changes. And with TripSource Enterprise, you can customize your traveler's experience to meet your own program goals. Use TripSource to influence and assist travelers throughout the trip with helpful advice and reminders. Target hidden spend, which can account for a whopping 20% of your total travel spend. Take advantage of exclusive TripSource offers and reward travelers for behaviors important to the success of your program. And that's just the beginning. New features are constantly in development. Hotel shopping and booking, corporate rules and location-based messaging, mobile chat, custom rewards programs, and global reach in multiple languages. With TripSource, you can use your travelers' love of everything mobile to make their lives easier and strengthen your program. That's good for everyone.
So in order to recap, this slide summarizes the different possibilities and different phases in the travel life cycle that MTT Engage can be leveraged to promote ancillaries, to keep the customer informed, and to improve overall customer relationships. So at the planning phase, push can be used very effectively to push promotions based on past travel patterns or based on research patterns that the customer is showing in their tablet or other mobile research for a future trip. It can be used to push relevant special offers or new flight routes that customers are likely to take up on in order to avail of special fares or a new release that the airline has announced, and to promote loyalty incentives, particularly for frequent flyers, and new things they can do to improve their travel experience. In the booking and post-booking phase, intelligent push can be used to promote the right ancillary at the right time to, for example, encourage the customer to book extra bags within the 24 or 48 hours before travel, to book insurance or car hire, or to book a better seat or an upgrade. And push can also be used to promote advanced check-in and travel information. In terms of the very pre-trip and in-port time frame, MTT Engage can be used to provide and push reminders about check-in, any last-minute upgrade opportunities or promotions that are available, any changes to gate information or boarding times, and just to improve the overall travel experience. And finally, post-trip, MTT Engage can also be used very effectively to improve relationship building, to send thank you messages post-trip, to remind customers of the ability to sign up for loyalty programs, and of course to reignite the planning cycle for the next trip to engage the customer with their next travel booking via mobile. Here we have an example of some end-user research or end-traveler research which MTT has conducted across different regions, here as you see in Southeast Asia, in Europe, in Latin America, the Middle East, and North America. And amongst lots of other questions we asked the travellers, we asked them what additional airline products are you most likely to purchase via mobile. And this gives great insights into the types of ancillaries that airlines can increase or the opportunity of sales via mobile, and definitely to use intelligent push to do so. The gradings here show the different value or importance on these particular ancillaries in the different regions across items such as better seat, lounge access, upgrades, duty-free purchasing, in-flight meal purchasing where it's not a full-service carrier, hotel booking, and car hire booking. So you can really take your own specific region from this slide and what are the key products that are most likely to be purchased via mobile within your airline's region. So now I would like to ask the airlines participating today some questions. So which of the following uses of MTT Engage would interest you most? So ancillary upsell, so that would include the likes of seat, baggage, hotels, car hire, meals, and so on. Passenger alerts, so delays, check-in, open, or as a general marketing channel to promote new routes, airfare sales, and so on. And one other question that we would like to ask you, so how do you currently contact your customers? And in this case, you can tick all that apply from email, push, SMS, phone call, post, or other, and do specify in the case of other. So following this webinar, we will share the results of the different responses that you have all provided to these questions. So finally, I'd like to end by providing some guidelines on the art of mobile push notifications with some do's and don'ts on the best way to approach it. So in terms of some best practices when engaging in mobile push strategies, here are 9 key tips. So firstly, keep your messages relevant. That's really important that you offer value and context within the message or promotion that you're pushing. Sending at the right time and at the right place, and that means at the right time and the right in the customer's journey and at the right place. Are they in the airport? Are they at home? Are they on the way to the gate? Really, really important. Customizing the push notification to ensure that it's contextual and that it's relevant. Don't overdo it, so don't send too many push notifications. So they need to be staggered and timed according to how many the customer has received in the past. The messages should be kept short, succinct, very much to the point. Don't intrude. Respecting privacy, of course, is always really important. Observe the reaction and the response to your app notifications and push messaging. What is getting the best response, and learn and evolve your messaging approach based on that. And remember that push messaging and notifications, it's an extension of the airline's brand. So it always needs to be carefully managed with that in mind. And if we look at some examples from other industries and the different types of ways they approach push notifications, so this outlet in the US called Guild allows clients to sign up for a wait list for items that are sold out. And then when those items are back in stock, the Guild app will push notifications to alert customers that their items are now available to purchase. This example from Office Depot, they use geolocation to detect when a customer is near a specific store and then delivers mobile coupons via push notifications. And this is using geofencing technology. Shopkick uses push notifications to share important news and alert shoppers when they are near a store where they can earn their kicks or reward points. And this has had great open rates and increased app usage. So here are some testimonials of marketing managers who have very successfully used push notification just to reinforce how useful this technology is to improve app engagement and mobile revenues. So from Gabriella Burman, push notifications are our most effective mobile-specific messaging strategy, but it's extremely important to use discretion. There is such a thing as oversaturation, so we try to keep our push notifications contextually relevant and timely. And then also from John Schiffman, you want to push enough that the customer remembers you exist and sees value in the pushes when you send them. The frequency is based on the nature of the value proposition you're bringing to the consumer. So both of these points are talking to the fact that the push notification needs to add value, it needs to be relevant, and it needs to be timely. So some final thoughts and some final do's and don'ts on push messaging and push notification strategies. So to recap, ensure the push messaging is within context. Don't treat customers like pushovers, so don't overdo it. Don't over or inundate them with too much push messaging. Relate to your customers and offer choice. So think about where they are in their travel life cycle and what is most relevant for them at that point, what will be most meaningful to them. Offer relevant and timely content. Use push notifications for one-to-one brand dialogue and to improve loyalty. And ancillary promotions should be positioned as relevant and at the right time in the customer's journey. So there are some final guidelines on getting mobile push strategies right for your airline. So now we will look at the questions that have come in from the airlines participating on the webinar today, and I will post the questions and answer them. And in the meantime, I want to thank you all very much for joining the webinar today. Do not hesitate to contact me for any more information on MTT, on MTT Engage, and on our work with the airlines and other travel companies with their mobile push strategies. My contact details are here below, my mobile and my email address. So thank you once more, and I'll now answer the questions, and do not hesitate to contact me should you wish to.